Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as the Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So if you are joining us from either of those platforms, please feel free to leave a question or a comment down below. Hopefully I'll be able to answer or address anything as I go through the forecast here, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. So let's get started with a look at our headlines. And topping our headlines here is the cancellation of that first alert that we had in effect for tomorrow. Yesterday we were thinking there was some chance for at least maybe a strong to severe storm or two through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, but it looks like a lot of the models have really backed off on not just the chance for any strong to severe storms, but also the chance of shower and thunderstorm activity in general. It mostly looks like a lot of the action isn't going to get started until once that front clears the tri-state. And I'll break down all those details and the latest for you coming up, obviously, in our weather show here. But looking at the latest storm risk for tomorrow, most of the tri-state now not even included within the general risk for thunderstorms. We still have that chance, of course, for some rumbles of thunder, and then that better chance for severe weather still remains off to our southeast. Now, that doesn't completely rule out that chance for maybe a stronger storm to clip areas like Muhlenberg and Hopkins County, and Ohio County, but we're really not expecting anything super widespread or very likely at all. So there's a look at your storm risk through tomorrow. So we've backed off on that alert for Friday. But once we continue to clear through the weekend, we are going to continue to cool down. We've got another front on the way Saturday evening. That'll bring in another round of some showers. But most importantly is behind that front, we are going to cool off significantly Sunday through Tuesday into the start of next week. So I'll break down those temperatures. But right now, we had high pressure off to our east today. As it slides off to the east, that's making room for this area of low pressure to lift off to the north and east, and that will eventually swing that cold front in through tomorrow. But we had a gorgeous day today. Plenty of sunshine, very seasonable. Temperatures warmed all the way up into the mid-60s this afternoon. Looking at our current temperatures, we've cooled down a good bit now that the sun has set. Once the sun sets this time of year, it does drop quickly. But we do have winds out of the southwest tonight, and that's going to help keep our temperatures from getting much colder than where they are now. We have temps mostly sitting in the upper 40s to lower 50s across the tri-state. It actually is a pretty good spread. You've got the mid-40s far north as Washington, 44 degrees, and the warmest spot on the map, Newburgh and Lewisport, sitting at around 54. So about a 10-degree spread across the tri-state. But we'll continue to see those temperatures actually warm up overnight tonight. So they're going to hold at around 50 degrees for the next few hours, but clouds will continue to stream in and winds out of the southwest will continue to intensify, so that will usher in that warmer air overnight. So it won't be that chilly waking up early tomorrow morning. It'll actually be warmer tomorrow morning waking up than it is right now. So keep that in mind, but we are going to be tracking out clouds and of course those showers and maybe a thunderstorm through tomorrow afternoon. So here's kind of the latest guidance on this. We're looking at Friday, 8 a.m. We could see a few sprinkles out there, but the front still back to our northwest. It doesn't really swing through until we get into the afternoon. And then once we see that swing in, you can see there's not a whole lot of coverage of those showers and storms. There may be one storm that this model wants to pop up there, but again, most of that looks like it gets going east of the tri-state, and then it'll just continue to clear out of here through Friday evening. Now, the good news is, even if we do see any shower or thunderstorm tomorrow, it looks like if you're going to be headed out to any Friday night football games, all of that action will be wrapped up by then, and I think we'll actually be seeing clear skies for the start of many of those Friday night football games across the tri-state. So that shouldn't be an issue for Friday night football either, and because the timing has become a little bit more clear, that's why we also dropped that alert. We were also thinking maybe these storms could linger and impact some Friday night football games, but that is also kind of backed off a little bit. So good news all around through tomorrow. Now let's look ahead at that Friday night football forecast specifically. I mentioned we're going to have a few clouds lingering around, but we're actually going to be clearing out through the night. So mostly clear skies for kickoff, halftime, and while you're going home, but temperatures will remain hanging out in the 50s. So maybe not as cold as it was last weekend, but still maybe bring that sweatshirt with you just in case, especially towards the end of the night. It always gets a little bit colder, but there's a look at your weekend forecast. Once we clear out of the showers through tomorrow, we'll dry out through the day on Saturday, but but then another round of some showers moves in Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then we'll clear out again through Sunday afternoon. And here's a look at our longer range model here. I'm using the GFS because I think this does give us a better depiction of what we can expect. The European model seems to be flip-flopping back and forth between how much shower activity we're going to see for Saturday night versus not. The GFS keeps it on the drier side. Again, we could still pick up couple of showers, maybe a few sprinkles there through the overnight hours, but not expecting anything overly intense. But again, behind this cold front, you'll notice those wind arrows coming out of the north and the color blue representing that it's cold air that is funneling down from the north there. So by the time we get into Sunday, our highs may only be topping out in the 40s and our feels like temperatures may not even get out of the 30s. And that's throughout the day. It gets even colder once we get into Sunday night. And then we could continue to see some wraparound shower activity even into Sunday. That's where Monday. That's where the models differ a little bit. The European wants to bring in some snow showers Sunday night into Monday, whereas the GFS keeps us pretty dry. Now, I do think we do have that chance for maybe some flurries, but not really expecting any sort of accumulation from that. And if we do see any flakes, I do think it'll likely be mixed with rain. So that's still kind of a uncertain factor in the forecast for the start of next week. Hopefully that becomes a little bit clearer but through tomorrow, so hopefully the models can start to converge on one idea. But as of right now, not expecting anything impactful, but we could still see some flurries for the start of next week. But really the more important and impactful point of this all is the temperatures. Look at that huge dip from Friday, where we're going to be topping out at around 70 tomorrow afternoon, to Sunday and Monday, where we're only topping out in the lower 40s, and then those overnight lows I mentioned before dropping all the way down into the mid-20s Sunday night and into Monday morning, and then again Monday night into Tuesday morning. So making sure you know exactly where those winter coats are, the gloves and the hats, because you'll definitely be needing them as you head out to work or school. And make sure your car batteries are all up to par, and if you haven't filled your tires up yet so far, make sure you fill them up, because I'm certain we're going to get a lot of those low tire pressure reading symbols on a lot of your dashboards for the start of next week. So get ahead of that and throw some air in those tires. But I do want to talk about those feels like temperatures as well. Also going to be a pretty important factor here. Here we are on Sunday. Throughout the day on Sunday, I mentioned it is only going to be in the 40s, but those feels like temperatures may even struggle to warm up past 30s or even the upper 30s. So it is just going to be a downright chilly winter-like day on Sunday. And then Sunday night, those temperatures crash down even more. By the time we wake up Monday morning, it's going to feel like the teens out there. So that's why I'm urging you to make sure you know where all those winter, where all your winter gear is, and making sure that you can stay as warm as possible, at least Sunday through Tuesday. And then once we get out of that cold snap, it does look like temperatures are going to start to warm up right around average or even slightly above through the second week of November. But in addition to perhaps a cloudier and maybe a few showers through tomorrow afternoon, we are expecting another breezier day for our Friday, with winds out of the southwest gusting up to 25 miles per hour. But there is a look at our 7-day forecast. Let me go ahead and take this full screen for you so you can get a better look at it. Some showers, maybe a thunderstorm through tomorrow, but that alert has been canceled. Any shower and thunderstorm activity that we may see, which is looking even less likely at this point in time, should be wrapped up out of here in the early evening hours. So any Friday night football games, I think you'll be good to go with no issues there. As we go through the weekend, some bigger changes on the way. We've got that cold front sliding through Saturday night, and what that's going to do, it'll bring in the chance for some showers through at least Sunday morning, but it's going to keep those temperatures way down, only topping out in the 40s Sunday and into Monday, and those overnight lows dropping down into the mid-20s during that time frame as well. Very cold, but we start to warm back up on Veterans Day Tuesday, topping out in the lower 50s. Expected to be a beautiful day with plenty of sunshine, and temperatures continue to climb back up towards that lower 60-degree mark as we get towards the middle and end of next week. So turning more seasonable once again. But that's all I've got here for the forecast. Let me go ahead and check out some of your comments or questions. If you have any, I'm happy to answer them for you. Looks like Emma is here saying good evening to you. Same thing to Cheyenne, good evening. Zach is asking, is Evansville expected to get regular thunderstorms tomorrow instead of severe storms? Correct. I think we're probably just going to get maybe a few showers, perhaps a clap of thunder, and I think the best chance of that thunder happening would be mostly over western Kentucky. So with all that being said, that's why we dropped that alert for tomorrow. The severe weather threat has really just kind of dwindled and has moved more farther off to our southeast. So all good news there. But that is all the questions I'm seeing. I'm going to hop off the live stream. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your night.